Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. Even if I fall, I'll be up again, 'cause I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. I'm a survivor. Never lay down, never give up. I am a fighter.
Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's doing good. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange podcast. Yeah, you know, the only podcast you got to listen to figure out things about Bella Vista and beyond. I'm summarizing because we've been doing this almost every night this week. Let's get into some stuff. Oh man, I just
I love the rumor mill. It just keeps on going.
I know.
What's the game where? Did you ever play that game? Or I remember in gym class.
It's a telephone game back in the day,
Is
right?
that what it's called?
Yeah, the telephone game. It's a.
So you start a phrase, and it
yeah,
starts
you
with
do
the
this
first
in
person.
leadership training. I wonder how many people in mayoral candidates and leadership positions actually have played this game. But you know, it's actually an exercise in effective communication, right? And so, like, you'll tell somebody, you know, I don't know, how now, brown cow, right? And then by the time you get to the end of the line, is the message the same message that what you originally spoke, right? And it's also an exercise in active listening, right? And so
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny how, you know, stories evolve and things change and everything. And, you know, I just.
That's what this sounds like, Chris.
Yeah.
It gets to the end, like you said, and the kid saying, you know,
nobody knows what
totally
happened,
different.
basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a crazy, crazy world we live in, man.
So,
I'm just trying,
you got any updates?
Seeker, Chris.
I know you. I know you're the truth seeker, brother. You got any updates on any phone calls that you made today?
Listen,
I know you reached out to a couple of people.
I'm not getting paid to get this information.
You conspiracy theorist, lying, rumor starting. You know,
no, it's crazy, man. I mean, how many conversations I have with people? No, the only update I had.
I think you need a hobby other than creating, you know, false rumors in the community and sowing discord.
Yeah, after everything's been verified and people are
you
still
getting paid by
it.
the Russians, man?
It's a Russian hoax, man. So, we went into the detail last couple of nights of what happened. I had more conversations today, not with the commission. Again, I still believe that they did a good job. So the issue is the communication, the breakdown,
Yes.
what originally happened. And, the very first conversation I had with them was when I called over there. There was an issue in Benton County. What was it? The
Administration building.
Benton County office, administration building.
Yep.
That they had issues and they were resetting the equipment. So that was the first communication I had with it. So there wasn't in fact an issue that day. And fast forward, I followed up the next morning, and yes, I got more clarity because the director was out and was able to tell me a little more information. And I'll just paraphrase it.
Yep.
There was one machine that wasn't working correctly. It wasn't calibrated. It was removed. It was put out of service, and a new machine.
That machine wasn't reading polls. The first machine that you received, the information you received on Wednesday, the machine wasn't accepting ballots.
Right.
So that was a totally different
Yeah,
issue
that is
than what
correct.
you had originally called about. Just to clarify.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And the second call I put in, that was more clarity what I was talking about. And what Donna experienced was she was pressing the button on the number 2 candidate, and or vice versa, number 1, it was reverting back to the other one. So, she made people aware of it. And without getting into too much detail, I went back to the commission. What's that?
You just shrunk. I'm fixing it. Continue.
Oh, yeah. So I went back to the commission and had more conversation with the director there. And again, she just came back. She was out of the office, and there was 4 machines. Well, 4 machines were being calibrated because they had some issues with it. So you had a total of 6 in there, right? 4 out
Hey,
of
thanks
6,
for the like, Yurik. Sorry.
Thank you, Eric. 4 out of 6 had it's an error rate of 66%, man.
Right.
So we went from 1 to 4 in just a few hours.
A potential error rate. Let's make
Right.
sure that we're being accurate, right? A potential error rate of 66% out of 6 devices that were there.
So we know there was issues. And the SARI continues to evolve. I had conversations with the city councilor about it, and I also had conversations with our justice of peace. My goal here is not to get people in trouble. My goal is to streamline this and make it better because it's a mess. This is just one piece of it. The other piece is the poll centers with issues with the boxes and the deliveries and the thumb drives and all that jazz, and not having a stamp, a time stamp. This is where we need that so we can verify and have a way to track this.
Right. Joseph
now,
Bollinger did drop in the chat, bro. He said the machine that wasn't reading ballots was not used for any voting since it requires the paper ballot to be able to vote. Yeah, we covered that last night. Basically, I view that one as a non-issue. But when we were told about a specific technical issue on Tuesday, and then you call on Wednesday and they reference the technical issue as being the one machine, which really is a non-issue, right? Because if it doesn't have the paper in there, you can never select anybody.
You can't.
But they omitted the other technical issue that was originally reported, and the fact that they had to send technicians out to calibrate machines, after 12 o'clock, after the polls have been open multiple hours. So this is the evolution of it. And then when a third call was made saying, hey, something doesn't add up with what I was told the day before, then it's like, oh, well, yeah, that was an issue and we had to do, So again, omitting things, it doesn't instill confidence when you're not being transparent. That's the thing. And that's why we basically said it's important for everybody to validate their stuff. And the good thing is, Mark, I know I'm summarizing some of this because we've covered it several days, so I don't really want to beat a horse, right?
Into a lot of detail.
Go back in the videos and watch what we talk about and what our recommendations are, and the fact that U.S. Army P-tests, your analyses are more secure than some of this election crap that's going on. You know, so that's the end result is like there needs to be appropriate change and safeguards and guardrails put in place, and that's all that we're asking for, right?
Yeah, we're just, and also want to make people aware this isn't conspiracy. This is verified. We had conversations with the Election Commission. We had
Yeah.
conversation with the person that had the issue, and we had verified conversations again with the commission with other issues. So this isn't an isolated incident. It isn't. There's several incidences,
Right.
but they've been corrected. But people continue to post and say, "Well, I talked to the
Right.
people at the poll centers. They don't know anything about it." Well,
No.
that was 2 days ago, man.
And that's good. If there's not, I mean, if they're not
Right.
reporting any issues, and again, poll workers, they may not be the same person that was there, before lunch on Tuesday, or it might be a different person. I'm not sure how that process works or who's working there. I haven't been down there yet. I plan on going down there, but
Right.
I haven't been
Yeah,
down there
that's-
yet. So
and so we don't even know who. It's probably slim that it's the same people are there several days in a row. So it's probably a new crew. Of course, they're not aware of it. But I mean, me personally, if I'm running it, I probably would let the people know the next shift of people coming in. Hey, we had a slight issue the first day. Want to make you aware of it. Someone does bring it up, and there's some
make sure that tell them to
inconsistency.
check their ballot when they print it
Yes.
off before they put it in the tabulator,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, that's all. It's those little simple
Yeah,
steps
yeah.
that basically you can ensure that people are actually doing what they're supposed to do. People are not educated on the voting process. I've talked to so many people who said, until you guys brought this up, I've never actually looked at the printout, So they just trust that it prints out what you picked on the screen. So that's what we're calling for is, one, people within the power, such as our justices of the peace, is not to be dismissive of this, right? To say, hey, there are some things that could be done. There should be a procedure for opening a polling location. That's ensuring that, we do a dry run, that we calibrate the machines before we let people use them, et cetera, et cetera. If
Right.
that's not being followed, then it needs to be followed. Two-party verification, ensuring that not one person is responsible for transporting a USB drive in a ballot box. It needs to be a couple of people so that you don't have a situation where, a jump drive can be left behind, according to the commissioner of the Benton County Election Commission. That was the case, and they could not get the jump drive until the next day, or until the church was opened up, because after the persons had left, the church was locked.
So the conversation I had with the commissioner goes like this. He said they did get the jump drive back. He didn't verify it was the next day or a day after. Never verified. He only said to me that the jump drive numbers matched up with the ballots they had that night that they ran through their system.
Right.
So
So
it could have
good.
been
I
one
mean,
day,
cool.
it
We're
could have
not.
been
We're
12
not.
hours. It could have been 2 days. But the bottom line is, it's not secure. It
Right.
just isn't secure.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see a little more detail on that. And if anything can come from this, it's putting stamps on it.
And I see that that's
again,
positive. Timestamps is positive.
Absolutely.
A chain
Absolutely.
of evidence, chain of custody is as important, just as important, right? And these are just basic recommendations to further secure our election process. And I find it hard to believe that stuff being written to a jump drive, or a ballot
Evan.
going through and getting tabbed. Thanks, Evan. Going through a tabulator in a report, it doesn't spit out a timestamp of what time that thing was scanned, right?
Yeah, this is great for everybody. I'll tell you why. Because if we can get this stuff stamped, the last ballot that goes through each facility, you got all this data analytics. We can analyze everything and find out, hey, there's a bigger push over here at this time. Look at what happened here. They got done
Right.
before them.
Do they
There was
need to
45
increase
minutes
the number
delay.
of poll workers at specific times on
Absolutely.
specific dates?
Yep.
This is all valuable data that you can actually improve the overall process.
Or-
And I
or
like to see,
maybe-
Joseph says he's going to be working on sponsoring an ordinance so that they can make sure in the future that the machines are calibrated after they're placed at a voting center. So this is good dialogue. That's the type of stuff that we want to
Yes.
happen
Yes.
to further
Absolutely.
improve the integrity and the procedures so that
Right.
people can have, so that we're not, standing in front of the election commission one day like these people out in Arizona, totally frustrated because their votes don't matter. They've been disenfranchised, the whole 9 yards, right? We don't want that happening.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but I think the positive message here's the return on our investment of coming on this week and talking about these simple issues, and that is a lot of people are going in. They're asking people at the county administration building, you know, about the reported issues. Again, those people are saying, well, no, we haven't heard anything. The stuff that we're talking about has been corroborated by the election commission. So if you want to say that we're conspiracy theorists, you know, go ahead. I don't really care. There's a lot more of those in this community than us, trust me. And we'll get into some of that here shortly. But I like the feedback that we're receiving, and that's people saying that they did check their ballot and it matched. So that's good. That's confirmation that whatever activity happened on Tuesday isn't happening, and people are more aware that they need to check it. So I look at that as a net positive on this whole discussion.
Right.
You know, I got a message a couple hours ago, a couple days after, you know, the initial issue was reported. And that was, this, well, I'll bring up the web share. You know. Everybody can see it. I just returned from casting my ballot at the Benton County Admin Building on East Central. I asked the clerk about the rumors of problems with the second position votes that you described and are running rampant in the community. She said that she has seen or heard of no problems or issues with any of the machines at the location during the runoff election. I cast my ballot with 2 votes for candidates in the first position and 2 candidates in the second position on the ballot. The voting screen highlighted my votes exactly as intended. I moved on to the review screen, and all four votes were entered as intended. I completed voting and received a printed ballot, which again was filled out exactly as I intended. Based on my experience, voters should feel comfortable voting at these machines. There are 3 opportunities to check your ballot before inserting the ballot drop, and there are people on staff to help you if you see the error during and help you correct the error. You should be comfortable voting at this location for the candidates that you feel will honestly represent Bella Vista citizens. Thank you for the feedback, Neil Anderson. Appreciate that. Again, this was a couple of days ago, and I basically had responded to him that it's my understanding that the issues have been corrected when they were calibrated the machines on. I put Monday. It was actually Tuesday. I did go back in and edit that per the election commission. That being said, I agree that people should be okay, but should exercise due diligence in verifying their ballot before putting it through the tabulator. The person you asked may be unaware if they say there was no issues through that, but there were 2 separate tech incidents acknowledged by the election commission, and 1 machine was actually removed from service. That's it, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it wasn't, I don't know if he wasn't keeping up, but again, we posted on our site. Neil, if you take a chance, Neil from Metfield, if you get a chance, check out some of our videos we did. We broke it right down.
Yep.
I don't think you saw that or aware of it. We did confirm that there was in fact issues. So it wasn't rumor or conjecture. So, but everything else you said was very valid. But
and I appreciate the feedback. I've some people have been hey, we checked it. Thanks for the heads up. Everything looked good. So that's it's a good practice to get into. And we deal with this. Uric Norton, who is Peggy Q. Lucas and why she's sending spam emails to tons of people with false info. Don't worry, buddy. We are going to be getting into that. We are going to be getting into that very shortly because I took an opportunity to really kind of, I'm tired of liars, man. And so I made a comment, and I think that post was actually removed because now when I go back to look at the post, I tried to get a screenshot. It's a novel at best, but there's a lot of lies in it. And so I took the liberty of actually copying the text and put it into a Word document and highlighted the stuff that I do want to talk about. We'll be getting into that here in a moment, buddy. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that's some meat and potatoes right there, man.
Yeah. And this would be my response. So let's go ahead, and I believe this right here. Here we go. This is a massive post that was posted to Nextdoor, and I think it was titled "The Election Is Not Over," and it was by Peggy L. And it says, "Bella Vista residents, how the growth of Bella Vista is managed in the future is at stake. The election is not over. Please read and forward to everyone you can think of. Thanks to everyone who voted in the Bella Vista municipal elections, with a special thanks to the 2,400 people who supported me. All 4 Bella Vista races will go to a runoff. Early voting is at the Benton County Clerk's office in the Admin Building, 215 East Central, and in Rogers at 2111 West Walnut, 8 to 4:30, 11:29 to 12:03, and 12:05. Voting in Bella Vista is at 12:06 at Highlands Methodist, St. Bernard's, and New Life Reardon. Please try to vote early in case it's bad weather on 12/06. It is extremely important that everyone vote in the runoff, as the future of Bella Vista and the preservation of our quality of life are at stake. Ooh. It is the utmost importance that we vote for candidates who do not have a personal agenda other than caring for the residents and business owners in our city. We should vote for those who would best do the best job of representing our community and making sure of our quality of life continues without threat. I strongly urge that we vote for John Flynn for mayor. John has always had the interests of our community in the front of his work. In 8 years of city council, he's carefully researched every issue, talked to those that are affected before deciding the issue. With degrees in law and finance, John can help shepherd us through any potential upcoming financial downturn and keep Bella Vista moving forward in a positive manner. After serving 6 years as mayor pro tem, he's the only candidate ready to hit the ground running in January. Our department's heads respect and work well with and for John. All right, we're going to pause here. Where's my good old buddy?
I gotta get a shovel.
Where's
man.
my buddy?
Get my shovel out.
Hey, that's some bullshit.
All right. All right, man. So in 8 years of city council, he's carefully researched every issue and talked with those that are affected before deciding the issue. Case in point, one of the most important issues, I think, in the past 4 years was the Bella Vista stump dump that was burning right next to people's homes, jacking up their quality of life, messing up their health, ruining some people. They had taken everything when they lost everything during the housing market collapse several years ago. They worked their way back up and bought a home, and then a fire burned right behind it, right? Nobody from the city demonstrated any leadership. John Flynn was mayor pro tem during that time period, didn't do anything. And actually, this is like, see, I know people have a short memory, but I got one like a freaking elephant, man. But for a city council member to refer to a group of people that were impacted by the stump dump fire as stump dumpers, just to add salt to the wound, man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, you know, what do you think about the situation over there with the stump dumpers, right? Like, what? I mean, like, you know, I mean, and that's the thing. They didn't do anything.
Complete.
What? No, that's not city property, man.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there's nothing we can do. Well, why am I?
Right.
Are you telling me that, you know, there's nothing you can do? You can't enact the city emergency ordinance. You can't ask for mutual aid. You can't contact, authorities to come in and provide emergency services for people. Air quality monitoring. That all did not. None of that happened because of the city. None of that happened because of anybody sitting on that city council, right?
Well,
nobody even came over and talked to me. It took on me. It took me going and talking to people.
They didn't want to do anything because it was all organic material. It was going to burn off anyways.
Well, you know, organic material. Tires grow out of the ground, bro. You know, so you know, I mean, dude, I think that I set up a website for that too. Stop the smoke.
Yeah, maybe some people haven't seen that, but I like that the mound, man. It looks like that's crazy.
It's wintertime, man. There's snow on the ground, except for that freaking burning turd out there that nobody did anything about, right?
There you go.
You want to know what was in there? You want to see some pictures of the organic material? Because I know we got some up there. It's been a while since I've been over here.
Who was the mayor at that time, Chris?
That was Peter Christie, and the mayor pro tem at the time was John Flynn.
Okay, just verifying that.
Yeah.
That's not a rumor or anything?
No,
Just making
it's
sure.
no, it's there's no rumor about it. That's the fact, Jack. There's some
Roll that
photos of
beautiful
what was
English.
there's I'm trying to find it. There's some photos of what was actually found in here. This was an endeavor in its own gathering information. Same players though, right?
Yeah.
Same players. It's always the same players. Yeah, what was discovered? Let me see if I can find that.
Well, we found a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
Tires, transmissions,
Construction
piping, all
material.
kinds of- yeah.
Man, this website is such a crappy website, Chris. But you know what? This was basically our only way to get the information out on the internet and archive it.
Right.
Donate to the Tech Fund, Landfire, real-time air quality maps, environmental quality, health drone. You know what? I'll find the direct link to the to what was located in there, because there is a photo gallery. Maybe it's on the second page. It's on the third page. Tell you this is some stuff that was found in there, and that's piping. That looks organic, right?
It doesn't look like stumps to me, Chris.
Yeah, piping. There we go. Here's some photos
Oh,
of things
man.
that are in there. These are
Oh,
these are utility poles.
Yeah.
Those are treated, right? That's good. That's good stuff to be
Yeah.
breathing in as it's burning. Tarps. That look organic to you? This I don't even know what that is. That's an oil tank or a gas tank off of some piece of mechanical. Right.
Yeah.
Totally organic though, right? There's nothing we can do about it, you know. It's not our job to put out fires on people's private property. Why do you keep moving on me, man? You keep on changing sizes over here. Like, what is going on with you?
I don't know what's going on, man. I don't touch
You're
anything.
over there dancing, man. Anyhow, you know, that's just that's the thing, and so you know that's I know I'm taking this stuff and I'm breaking it down, but after serving 6 years as mayor pro tem, you know that's a fill-in position, man. Right,
Yep.
Mark, you're in charge while I'm gone. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
that's
degrees
what they're
in
gonna
law and finance, cool. You know, you definitely have some value whenever it comes to, you know, budgeting and stuff like that. But, you know, the old saying is never trust a lawyer, right? That's one of the people that you can't trust, right? You know, I'm just saying. So, continue down with the, you know, the false propaganda and stuff of the letter that's been going out. And, you know, I don't want to go into the whole thing, but do you want a person that has spent exorbitant amounts of money on signs and billboards in charge of our city finances? Why would how dare somebody spend funds that they raised for a campaign on signs and literature to try to get, you know, I guess that would be considered campaign materials, right? Do you want
Right.
somebody spending campaign finances that they raised on campaign material?
Yeah.
Sounds like appropriate use considering that they're running a campaign. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, when we looked at those budgets, he's in a deficit. Right? Randy's taking that money out of his own pocket, man.
right. Do we want somebody
You know?
spending money, their own money? You know, that tells you that the person believes in it, right?
Right. He believes. He wants to.
But even but wait, there's more.
win.
Do you
He
want a
wants to
mayor
support
who's being financed by contractors and developers on which owns 323 lots? Well, I thought it was 700 in your last post, Peggy. Right?
Well,
323
changed.
lots and want the septic ordinance overturned that prevents builders from building four-bedroom house. That's false information,
Yeah. That's not even accurate.
right?
That
Do you
would
want a
all be
mayor who will
predicated-
not protect neighbors from short-term rentals with occupancies of 12 to 17 people? Do you want a mayor who intends to gut our community development services department of qualified people that do code inspections and planning and put in his own people? What are you talking about, Willis? This is lies. This is lies after lies after lies. And I don't know how she got your email, man. I'm sure she got it from somebody in the city, though. Sure she did. So, again, if you're comfortable with people in our community sitting there telling lies and you want to turn a blind eye to that, by all means, be that person. I'm not that person. I am not that person anymore. I've had enough of the crap. So I told her point blank, for me, the choice is clear. There's a bunch of disinfo in this, and it really says a lot about your character and your mental faculties if you're comfortable spreading blatant lies. John Flynn stood by while residents' health and quality of life was ruined for a year during the stump dump debacle. That's enough to say anyone who is derelict in their duties has to go. Facts matter, Peggy. They really do.
Yeah, she's just ill-informed. I mean, all this information, it just isn't even accurate, you know?
Yeah.
I'm glad she took it down. I mean, she needs to
She
understand how the
needs to be
process
put in her
works.
place for telling lies, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Straight up lies. You know, I've never once heard anything about removing the septic ordinance altogether. In fact, he doubled down and said he wants data driven. I mean, again, like, know what you're talking about, or get prepared to be, knocked down with facts, because that's how I'm tired of it.
4-bedroom houses on lots. I mean, it's all, if someone's building a lot and it has to be, and it's not in sewer, it has to be perked. Whatever it perks for, and the size of lot's going to dictate what you can build on there, knucklehead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just can you believe it? Can you believe the lies though? And it, like, that's where you have to question them. Like I said, you have to question, like, what kind of characters does this person have, right? Yeah. If you're just comfortable running this false narrative, and then on top of it, like as Yurik said, emailing what'd you say, 12,000 people or something like that?
Yeah.
What did he say? He said something about the number of people. Spammed with false info about Randy Murray and trying to get people to vote for John. How did she even get my emails? Who is this lady? She's emailing people, and how did she get his email? Who is she? Well, she's just, I don't know, man. She's just some lady out there spreading propaganda and lies. And she needs to be called out for what she is. You need to be called out for what you are. I'm sorry. The truth is this.
Liar!
Yeah, that's what you are.
I mean, here's another one at the bottom. Do you want a mayor who intends to gut our community development service department of qualified people?
What are you talking about?
Did you see the house that was over by you in Constance? It was out of code. How did that get approved? Okay, how did it get built, first off?
Whose watch did that get built on?
Yeah, you're right. Existing code enforcement. And the second thing is, how did it get approved for occupancy? Asking for a friend. And the third thing is they changed.
They tripled down, and they changed the variance and gave them a variance to build a parking lot up off the street, right? And this all happened under whose watch?
They just think we're stupid, man. I mean, it's just crazy to me. It's unbelievable.
Give me a break. You can't make this stuff up. But he's the man, right? He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, man. You know, he is a nice guy. But I'm sorry, you got to go, man.
Yeah.
What they did to people over that stump dump, not taking an active position in it, just a total hands-off approach. And then when we as a community group got face masks because of the amount of particulate that was in the air, we had worse air quality than China, right? And we asked, can we have like just an area in a foyer of the fire departments where people can pick up these particulate masks, right? No, because there's a liability associated. Fast forward a couple of years to COVID, what are they passing out in every government building now?
Yeah.
Where's the liability on that, right? Give me a break, y'all.
We were pushing, like, there was days I was pushing 600 ppms, man. You know, I mean, you're right. It was the worst
air
place
quality
on the
in the world, right here in old Smella Vista.
Yeah,
Right.
you remember? Do you remember that gal from the EPA saying she'd have her kids run around on the top of it playing with their toys? You remember her?
I let my kids
They
play
brought her in.
outside. Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. We got to pull that video.
Oh
Maybe
my
show the people
gosh,
that.
my
Show you
word,
that's what you
man.
got. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't make this stuff
These
up.
are not the people I want making decisions. Like I said, I've been waiting 4 years for this election, man. 4 years.
Quite frankly, I wouldn't let these people walk my pug. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just.
Yeah. Yeah.
The-
I don't want to sit there and
My
beat him up too much, man. But like I said,
No, you can't help it,
the
man.
bad actors in our community need to be called out for exactly what they are. There's nothing
are.
wrong with calling out a lie.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Well,
I'm
that-
sorry
that
if you're
is just-
offended, Peggy L. But I
It's
just
one thing when you
a
have an
lie is a
opinion,
lie is a
but-
lie, man.
Yeah, I mean, but this isn't even educated. This is buffoonery, is what this is. You know, it's just uneducated garbage. You know, she should know better, whoever that is. Of course, you got to hide your last name, anyways. But that tells me a lot about you. you know,
Yep. Yeah. You can't even you're not even gonna own it, right? I mean,
No.
look,
Yeah,
I
no
don't have a
problem.
problem saying what I'm saying at all. I'm on camera. I got my email posted. We even
Jelly
got a
back.
phone number if you want to call in and talk smack to me. Just beware. I fight back, man. I talk back and I fight back. So
yeah, we just have to keep this stuff at bay. It's ridiculous. But I want to see that email. Hopefully, hey Eric, when you get a free moment, send that email over.
yeah,
so we can take a
forward
look
that
at
over
it.
to us. That'll be another little nice little piece of info to have.
Yeah, we'll find out where that was sent out and who approved that. We'll dig into that stuff.
Was this
Maybe somebody knows
Jill
me.
Jill Kelly? I'm sorry if I tear up your last name, Lipinski. Hopefully I got that right. She said she's the only lady that's against STRs and was supposed to lead the non-STR steering committee. I thought her name was Peggy. Yeah, that's the person. That is exactly who the person is. And thanks. Yeah, he said he's sending it on over. Thank you very much, York. Let's go back
Thank
over
you
to the
very
chat
much, yeah.
screen. Man, just
You
I
can't
saw
make
that
this
and I
stuff
just
up.
couldn't stomach it anymore, and that's why I just had to basically
I
state
know.
what I stated, man.
You have to, because people will latch onto that stuff and think it's legitimate. It's just, you're doing a disservice to the community when you put that kind of garbage out there. And you got to educate yourself. You're just pushing a bunch of propaganda.
Right.
We've had this happen numerous times. There's people that want to control the narrative. They don't have the best interests of the cities at hand.
No.
They don't care about the people.
They don't.
These are those kind of people. They don't care.
They only
have
care
their
about
own
themselves.
agenda.
They
Right.
only
They have
care
their-
about themselves.
They have their own agenda. And as soon as you find out from them, they go scoring away, kind of like Punxsutawney Phil, man.
Yeah. Shows up for election year and then squirrels off. Thanks, guys, for your votes. Gone. You won't see me for another few years.
It's in the shadow, man.
Well, I was hoping that we get some numbers. Can you check and see if we got any numbers on how many people voted today? Did that data come in?
Yeah,
yet?
I checked out for a few people. I didn't hear anything back. So no, she hasn't. Wendy just sent back. She hasn't received any data for today yet.
Okay. Yeah, and that county website's not easy to navigate, man. So I would really like a direct link to where this data is being published, if it's even being published. It may not even be being published.
I was calling the commission, but at one time they used to send them out after it closed. They would do a post on their.
Joe
on their
says it was
page.
165 people
total.
total for both
no
polling
way.
locations today.
Got to be over 300. That's just one polling place.
That's pretty bad numbers, man. If that's the case,
Yeah.
I don't know what we got to do, man. Maybe I need to go, streaking through the quad or something. I don't know. Let's go vote, man. I don't get it. We definitely need people to get out and vote. That is no questions about it. Maybe a lot of people are waiting for the 6th, maybe.
Yeah, that seems low to me, Chris. I think that might have been just one of maybe the community center. I don't know what the other one was, election or Rogers location,
Oh, he says that's total for Bella Vista. Okay. So 165 total for Bella Vista. Thanks, Joe. And Joe, I gotta figure out where you're getting that information. I don't know if you're calling on that or if there's just might have to have you walk me through a website, tutorial or something on how to find it, because it's typical government website. Information's not easy to find.
It's horrible. They got stuff that's still up there from years ago.
That's about as good as my my Stop the Smoke website. Take some time to find information on there, but I was a little bummed that people are saying, "Well, there's a rumor running rampant." It's not a rumor. That was fact. You corroborated this with the election commission.
Right.
We're past that now. That was a few days ago. I like to see that everybody is looking at those ballots and moving forward and getting out and voting. So,
yeah, I mean the takeaway is, like you said, is just to verify after you're done, everything's said and done. Yeah. When it goes and prints off, before you finalize it and walk out the door, is check it. That's all. Ryan
brings up something great. He says December 6th, right? Because there's nothing better than standing in line for an hour, right? I mean, like I've heard from so many people, like they've walked in, there was nobody else there, so it was like just to walk in, do your thing, and walk out. I mean, but no, we'll wait till the last possible minute.
Yeah.
On December 6th.
I waited pretty close to 2 hours at New Life. When I showed up, it was wrapped around into the auditorium and to the door. So
yeah, I waited about 45 minutes, on election day. That was first time I haven't actually gone out, but I was like, I'm going to go and do it on election day. I obviously ran out of time, but I'll be going on Monday. Monday is my regular day off, and I'll be going on Monday to early vote and get it knocked out. And, I already know who I'm voting for. There's not going to be any, I don't even got to take a sample ballot so I can verify. There's only 4 people on the ballot.
Anything can happen, man.
Still not too late to change my mind, though, y'all. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get some spam emails.
Yeah. Well, we'll dig into that, I guess, and find out how that all came about. But there's some shady stuff. Like I said, man, this swamp is deep.
Well, it's important. It's important for people to take an active role and discount these blatant lies and that are circulating, because one day you're going to wake up and it's going to be like what's going on over in China right now. Right? They're welding doors shut and putting electrical wire on people's doors, and unfortunately, there was a fire in one of these apartment buildings, and I believe like 14 families basically burned up in this high rise because they had no way to get out.
Yeah, they locked them down. Yeah.
It's so sad what's going on over there,
Well, that's why
it's very important to exercise your freedoms, man. I know people make jokes about, my freedoms and stuff, but it's very important because one day you can wake up and that can be gone.
Yeah. There's no doubt. It's happened before in our history. We've seen it, You see other countries, and you want to live under a brutal dictator like that in China, man. I'm going to pass on that. That's a hard pass for me.
Hard pass. I'll take some crappy tweets all day long over that, man. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Even during the COVID situation, the lockdown, he did the same thing. He actually had doctors that came out again and explaining what happened and how the lab situation, and they just disappear.
Yeah.
This is how these regimes work. These countries work. They don't like what you say. Boom. They just take you out.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. And I hate to think that that's going to be, coming to America. If people don't really wake up and start, realizing how good we have it here. I know we got a lot of problems in this country. I'm not going to be the first one to say, I'm not going to say that we don't, right?
Right.
But we still have it a lot better than a lot of other places, man.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. Just look around, So
that's why I believe in people that, actually care about this community and show that they care about this community, and they're believable when they talk about it because they're passionate about it. They have a vested
Right.
interest here, right? Their family here, their kids here, their businesses are here. They care about it, you know,
Yeah.
versus just
Yeah,
sitting
I mean-
around for 8 years, just riding the wave, man.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess everybody's goal, and we talked about this before, is you want to make it better than for the next generation and the next generation after that. Right. And,
Yeah.
you know, if we have, you know, what we have to sacrifice to do that, then I'm on board with that, man. I want to make it better.
There's been hundreds of thousands of people who have sacrificed way more than what we sacrifice on a daily basis, just so that we could have the ability to do what we're doing today.
Absolutely.
You know?
I totally agree with you. That's a great point.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you.
And at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing by calling out lies and bad behavior. It's speaking righteous truths. That's you know, that's what I feel I'm being called to do, and I'm going to do it. And you know, if somebody wants to be mean to me, demonize me, and all that, well, that's still not anything compared to what Jesus had to go through. So I'm willing to stand up
Very
and take
true.
it. You know.
Well, and we're trying to make it better, Chris. I mean, we're pointing out that, but you know, hopefully Joe and gets with the commission, and we make some headway. We
Yep,
need
and that's
people
a
to get
positive.
involved.
What he
Yeah.
said is like he's willing to sponsor, and he's going to do it. He's going to sponsor. You know, Joe, we've said it last night. I know you weren't watching; you were busy, but you know, I'm willing to put out ideas for free, man. I'm willing to sit down and talk
Right.
and look at procedures and say, how can this be better? You know, I'm a resource. That's all I look at myself as, is a resource
Yeah.
for this community. And if anytime you ever need my input on anything, I'm right here. You know,
Yeah.
you
And
know
there's
how to
a
get a
ton of
hold of us.
knowledgeable people in this community too, Chris,
Yeah.
that'd be willing to put a hand into it and make it better. There's
Well,
no
that's
doubt.
what
You
makes
gotta
Bella
ask.
Vista so cool, man, is because so many people have come from all over the world in different professions and different skill sets, right?
Right.
And that's what makes a valuable community, you know?
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And you just got to keep on pushing forward and you know, making it better, refining it, you know.
Yeah. Yurik says, speaking of small businesses and bettering the community, quick shout out to La Ku Coffee in Jane. Really appreciate having some good coffee close to Bella Vista. Spoke with the son-in-law today who works there a lot. Need to show some support for our local businesses, or these local businesses can't exist. We'll definitely make it up there. I like me a good coffee too, Yurik. We'll probably go up there and get a little video footage, talk with them, and
Yeah.
throw them in our little advertising section that we have built into the show format for Fridays.
Yeah, I wonder where that's located, Chris, because I've been through Pineville thousands of times, man.
Well, that's
Just not familiar
Jane.
with it.
So I'm trying to think of where that would be. We could. It's probably just a small pop up, man. We'll definitely
Yeah.
we'll have to look up where that's at. Do they have a Facebook page, Yurik?
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. But yeah, that's the goal. After, right? We talked about this after the election's over, and we're going to start spending more time and you know, having interviews on site and off site.
Yep.
And
Yep, I got
some.
some equipment coming in, and I got some equipment that already came in. But like, we can definitely go full bore. Nice. This is a IP camera controller, by the way. You know, we're the arsenal
doing
of
some cool
equipment's
stuff.
ready, man. You know, we just got to
Yeah.
find a venue and set it up. And I'm hoping that we get through. You know, first off, I'm hoping that this dang foot heals. But
I know, man.
yeah, it stinks, man.
I know, man. I've been there. I've broken my foot, dude. I understand what you're going through. It's painful.
Yeah, but you know, hopefully the foot will be healed up soon, and we can start, you know, getting out and doing some more stuff, and talking with people at their venues and videoing and putting together nice little, you know, video packages to showcase these small businesses that are popping up.
That's because that's what it's all about. You know, at the end of the day, is we need to support these small guys and
give back.
yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Tanya, and thank you very much, Murray,
Randy.
Randy Murray for Bella Vista Mayor. I can't wait till next Tuesday. I am stoked to see what happens next Tuesday.
Yeah,
I
we're
have
gonna
a
be
good
pulling-
feeling, man.
This might be another 4-hour special, man.
It better
You know?
not be. If somebody leaves a jump drive, man,
Hey, everybody bring your thumb drives back with them, okay?
you better bring somebody qualified to pick locks, man. If you lock that thing up in one of these churches again, man, you know.
Well, I'm trying to get more clarity on that too, and I talked to Joe today exactly. I mean, what these look like. I think the goal is eventually try to go down there and look at these personally, Chris,
Yeah.
and see what we're looking at and get all the details about it, and we'll see what happens. But,
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, it's all about education and being, you know, getting educated on these subjects. That's one of the beautiful things about, you know, us doing this show is we get to meet so many cool people, and it's educational on top of it. So it's,
Right.
I think it's an overall win-win for me. You know, I just appreciate the support that we're getting on our lives, and you know, we're going to be live, you know, basically all the way up until the election, and then we'll go back to our normal format. You know.
yeah.
Joe says, swing by the election commission next Tuesday and watch the process yourself. Nothing beats it. Well, if you got time, Mark, you know.
Hold on.
You were told you couldn't make it, right? You weren't allowed there?
You know what happens when people call me out, brother?
Oh no. He's going to be like,
How dare you?
don't call me out.
Let's see here. I got time between 11 and 12. I got an hour there, or I can do it at 6 to 10 o'clock at night. You choose, Joe.
Well,
I'm in.
I think he's talking about, could you go live from there? Could I send you down with a camera and a hotspot and have you go live from down there?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, I could do it. I could get down there probably about 11 and run it till noon. Then I got to head back. So I could do it for an hour. Or I can do it after 5. It'll be about 6 o'clock by the time I get down there,
Right.
if they're still open. Or I can do it between 4 a.m. and 7.
4 a.m. and 7.
I can give you 3 options, Joe. All
Well,
right.
Yeah, covering it would be nice, man. I just don't know if if our
I'm all
schedules
in.
allow us to do that. But
I just gave you. I gave him 3 options, man. That's the best I can do.
all right, you can go live. I've done it. You should go after the polls close. Well, we'll be live. I know I'll be live, sitting here on my butt because I got a broken foot, and I don't want to be standing down at the polling or election commission on this foot, man.
Well, we can do that. We planned on doing that last time, but I talked to them, and they said they were going to release the information the same time, which really didn't come out that way. But
Right. Yeah.
and I talked to Joe today about that, and he said the same thing. I mean, it's just they got the information, the media, local media, and they released it on their pages right away. And the dump on the commission side didn't come till a little bit after that. So.
Well, yeah, I know. That was funny because with that information came out, and we're like, well, wait a minute. How'd they know before any the websites? It's not even on the website, man, you know?
Yeah.
But, oh, well, it is what it is, man.
Well, we can do that if you want.
I'm
We'll
excited
see.
I'm excited for next Tuesday. You know, obviously it's going to be the end of this political time, at least for a couple of years. And, you know, we can really get back into the fun stuff. And then, you know, I'm not even going to say if, I'm going to say when Randy Murray wins, you know, I look forward to covering the progress that he's making in the city as well. And just watching that, you know, leadership actually like take charge. I look forward to that too. So,
Yep, I agree with you. Well, we appreciate everybody coming on tonight, and I enjoyed it. And we'll wrap her up, right?
yeah, we'll wrap her up. We'll be back on tomorrow. And man, it's been a marathon week, but we appreciate everybody's support. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about the show, get them over here. Tell them to watch it if they're interested, or don't. I don't know. I'm also excited. The shirts should be here this weekend. So, Mark, we'll check out the quality of those and talk about them.
All right.
And,
Cool.
and then we'll open up that store, man.
All right, buddy. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Take care,
All
everybody.
right.
Have a great evening. We will catch you tomorrow at our regular time, 8 p.m. over on the Facebooks and the YouTubes. Later.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.
I'm not afraid to together through the storm, whatever weather, cold or warm. Standing up, you're not alone. If you feel like you've been down the same road.